Good afternoon, everybody. Okay, I'm going to talk to you this afternoon about something that's very special to me, that means a lot to me. I'm going to talk to you about a journey that I've gone on and about a journey that I'm actually on. So the title of my talk is Together We Will Make a Difference. And if I touch one person's heart here today and I make one person want to join me on this journey, then this talk has been a success. It's coming. Okay, this is a picture of Gaza. Over 2.7 million people live on a narrow strip of land which is walled down one side, and it's called the Gaza Strip. This is a real picture that was taken last year. And in my opinion, it's unfair that families and children have to live in conditions like this. And I believe that everybody who is better off has a right and are duty-bound actually to do something to make a difference. So my interest is not political. My interest is in the children. And the charity that I represent this afternoon, the Palestine Children's Relief Fund, they're also a non-political organisation that's only interested in giving healthcare benefits to children that don't have access to that healthcare. How many people here this afternoon are parents? Who's got kids? Anybody? So about 15% of the audience. I'm just going to relay a little story to you, maybe just to explain to you how I feel that maybe some of the parents in Palestine and the rest of the Middle East feel when their kids can't get healthcare. When my daughter was about 13, my wife and I went out for dinner. And she was at home in the evening. And halfway through the dinner, I got a call from my daughter, rasping down the telephone, saying, "Daddy, I can't breathe. I'm having an asthma attack." So I raced back across Dubai as fast as I could in the car, ran into the house, picked her up because she was finding it really difficult to breathe, and I raced at breakneck speed to the hospital. And then, of course, the specialist was there, the medicines that were required were there, and everything was okay. Those feelings of panic that I had in those very short minutes must be being felt by parents all over the Middle East, where their kids are affected by the areas of conflict and they don't have specialist care. So we need to do something about it. So why am I doing something like this? I'm often asked, as a British guy, why are you doing something to help the Palestinians? You created the problem in the first place. Right? But actually, I'm not responsible for the sins of my father. So this is actually a picture of my house in Cornwall in UK. And this is the beautiful view that I have from my window. So I consider myself to be a very lucky guy. This is my beautiful wife of 28 years and my 2 grandchildren. And I've also got 3 lovely kids who've grown up in a safe, multicultural environment in Dubai. They've benefited from the fact that I've had a good job, been earning plenty of money over the years. And quite simply, the answer that I give to everybody when they say, "Why are you doing this?" is because I want to give something back. And my chosen charity to help me with that is called the Palestine Children's Relief Fund. I'm a walking advert, as you can see from my T-shirt. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about that charity. So who are the PCRF? They were established in 1991. They're IRS certified. They're a non-political charity. They have offices in the United States, their headquarters. They have an office in Ramallah in Palestine, and they've got 19 chapters around the world. One of those chapters is in Istanbul, and we've got some representatives from the Istanbul chapter here today. Thank you to Heather and the other members of the chapter for arranging for me to talk to everybody this afternoon. They're actually now a leading healthcare provider, giving free healthcare to children across the Middle East. Having started, as I said, in 1991, they've provided healthcare to children in Palestine, Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, and Jordan. So they truly are a regional force now in giving free healthcare to kids. They do three things. The first thing that they do is they provide healthcare to children where they don't have it in their own country. They fly the kids abroad, and they've flown about 1,500 kids since inception to places like America, Chile. There's been 3 children in Turkey, and about 70 kids have been treated where I work, actually in Dubai. That's the first thing. The second thing that they do, they have an amazing network of doctors and nurses, specialist surgeons and anaesthetists who travel free of charge to Lebanon, to the refugee camps and to Palestine, and they do operations locally to the kids there. And this has a knock-on effect, an additional benefit of providing training for the local healthcare practitioners, so there's a long-term sustainable benefit for the healthcare system there. The third thing they do is capital projects, and one of those is what I'm actually involved in. Their most recent project they finished, an amazing achievement. They completed the first children's cancer ward in Palestine, a 19-bed unit. It cost $1.9 million US, and every single dollar that was raised was done through donations, and there was no government funding. So this is a picture of Obaid Al-Dam, and he was admitted to hospital, the European Gaza Hospital, in April of this year with congenital heart disease. And here you see some of the medical mission team saying goodbye to him. He's been completely cured of his congenital heart problem, and his chances of survival, had he not had this operation, would have been very slim. So this is proof, actually, that the Healing Hearts campaign is actually already working. Couple of statistics: $50 million worth of treatment has been provided since 1991, and approximately 20,000 children have been helped by the PCRF since inception. So the project that I'm working on is the Healing Hearts Initiative. It's the latest project from the PCRF. They do one at a time. So why is it needed, and where is it going? Well, there's 300 kids are born with congenital heart disease every year in Gaza. And right now, there are no specialist facilities or anywhere for them to go. So the simple operations can be done, but anyone with a complex problem, it can't be diagnosed and it can't be treated there. So they have to be sent away. We're actually going to build a pediatric cardiac unit in the European Gaza Hospital in Khan Yunis. And that's the same hospital where you saw Obaida went, and he was actually cured in April of this year. The PCRF built a unit in 2003, and in the West Bank. There's nothing in Gaza at the moment. So we know that not only do they build the projects, but they support them, because since 2003, 1,500 kids have actually either had their lives saved or they've had improvements to their health care through the PCRF. So they support the projects as well in the long term. So what am I doing exactly, and how am I raising awareness and raising money for this great charity? Well, I'm an ordinary guy. I take it like a lot of people here this afternoon. And I came up with an idea that I wanted to make a difference, as I've said. So we've done a lot of talks in schools and universities. About 1,500 kids have heard me talk in Dubai. I did my first boxing match last November. We raised money through that. I actually got knocked out in the second round, but that's another story. And I ran the marathon in Dubai in January as well. So I'm actually 56 years old. I'm riding a 22-year-old motorbike called Desert Rose through 30 countries for 90 days, 22,000 kilometers. And I'm a lifelong motorcycle enthusiast. Actually, I wanted to ride it in today, but they wouldn't let me bring it down the stairs. So unfortunately, you don't get to see the motorbike today. So for me, this is a dream come true, to have a dose of adventure, to be able to do this for a great cause, and you know, have such a motorcycle journey is an amazing experience for me, and to do some good as well. Now, I hoped I was actually going to be talking to you about my incredible adventures in Iran, Azerbaijan, Georgia, Armenia, and Turkey. But fate actually dealt me a different hand. I left the UAE from Sharjah on the 14th of April to Bandar Abbas on a ferry, and the Iranian authorities in their wisdom decided that they didn't want me in the country, and they sent me straight back to the UAE again. So it could have been the shortest adventure in history, a 10-hour ferry journey there, 14 hours in the tender care of the Iranian immigration authorities, and then 10 hours back to Sharjah again. So I got back to the UAE. There'd been a big press launch, and it was really embarrassing. So I had to find another option to do the journey. I had three options, really. One was to go east, one was to go west, and the third, really, and the only option to make it here today, which is something that I really wanted to do, so I had a date that I had to comply with, was actually to fly the bike to Istanbul. And I'm really grateful to Aramex for agreeing to fly the bike here free of charge, so that actually the journey could start. Now, I hasten to add that I'm doing this solo and unsupported, and I've paid for the entire journey. So any money that's raised goes directly to the children. Nothing comes in my pocket to pay for my lovely holiday that I'm actually having. You see in the picture here, this is the first night. And you might ask why the motorbike is in the tent. Well, the tent's got a garage as well. And I tried to put the bike on the stand, but with all the luggage, it weighs 350 kilograms. And in the confined space, it fell over. And actually, I had to get two other people to help me to pick it up. So I learned a lesson: take the luggage off before you put it in the tent. But at least, actually, I get to ride the bike all day and sleep with the bike as well at night. So I consider myself to be a very lucky guy. There's still actually a lot to come. I've had a fantastic time in Turkey. And I'm not saying that just because I'm talking in Turkey. I've had the warmest, most genuine welcome that I think I've had anywhere in any country that I've ever been to. A couple of things that have happened. I had a problem with my motorcycle, quite a big problem. I stopped at a motorbike shop. It took over an hour to repair the bike. And when I asked the proprietor how much he wanted, he said nothing. Almost every place I've been where I stop for petrol, they offer me tea and they won't take money. I've been given free food in restaurants. I was in Ephesus, and my camera was broken. The camera that you see sitting on top of my helmet there, the bracket was broken. And the owner of the restaurant came up to me and he said, oh, you've got a GoPro as well. And I got talking to him. He gave me his bracket. He didn't know me from Adam. And he said, just post it when you get to Istanbul. When I arrived in Istanbul, just before I came over the bridge of the Bosphorus, I met a Turkish motorcyclist. In fact, we waved to each other. That's one of the things that us motorcyclists do. So I did a quick wave to him, and then I spent half an hour getting my HGS thingy that you need to go through the control on the other side of the bridge. The guy was waiting for me the other side, and he flagged me down, and he said, oh, hi, where are you from? I said, told him what I was doing, and he said, do you need any help? I said, well, I don't know where my hotel is. He spent the next 2 hours showing me where my hotel was, taking me to buy some reading glasses because I'd lost them, and going to get a spare part for my motorbike. So I can't say enough good things about the Turks. I've been to the city of the wooden horse. I've been to Assos. I've been to the temple in Bergama. I've been to the capital of ancient Asia Minor. I've been to Hierapolis. I've actually been to Goreme, and I've seen the Black Sea coast. I've done 2,700 kilometers so far in the journey, and all I can tell you is it's been amazing, and that's just the beginning. So these are all the countries that I'm visiting. So far, we've only done the UAE and Turkey. I've actually taken the first 4 off of this slide now, and I can't wait for the rest of the trip. We've got schools and universities that we're talking in along the way. I've got one of my major sponsors who's actually putting something on in Athens to raise money, and we've got a reception when we arrive in London. So there's a lot still to come. Right, so how can you help? This is a picture of a child called Ayad Soni. And he's had bilateral club foot operations in Toronto, actually. But you don't need to be a doctor to help. Maybe you work for a company that is interested in helping. we'd be interested to talk to you. You can sponsor a child. It's really easy. The information's all on the PCRF website. You could make a donation to the Healing Hearts campaign. I'd be more than happy to take your money if you've got deep pockets. You can actually become a member of the local PCRF chapter if you're interested. We've got representatives here today, and there's further children who are going to be coming to Turkey later on in the year for treatment. You can be a host family. The kids, when they're sent abroad, stay with families to give them love and care and show them the country. Or you could help with the logistics, driving them to and from the hospital. Or maybe like me, you can do something a little bit crazy and do an individual effort with the assistance of the charity. So why support the PCRF? There's hundreds of different charities out there. Well, I'm going to give you a couple of good reasons. Here we go. What's happened there? I'm going to give you a couple of good reasons. The PCRF is actually endorsed by Jimmy Carter and Desmond Tutu, amongst other prominent leaders. And we're very proud of this. We've actually got a signed letter from Jimmy Carter, actually personally signed by him, endorsing the Healing Hearts Initiative, which I think is fantastic. The other thing that the PCRF have is they have a 4-star rating from Charity Navigator. Those who don't know it, Charity Navigator is like an auditor for charities in the United States. It's one of the biggest and the best. And in actual fact, the 4-star rating is the best that you can get. It means they're transparent, they keep their costs low, all the money goes to the kids, that kind of thing. So that's why I'm standing in front of you today. You can trust the PCRF. I do, and I'm going to give you one more statistic before I wrap up. For every $1,000 of donations that are made to the PCRF, they turn that into $62,000 US worth of health care. So that's a fantastic number, and that's something to think about. You can check on the website. You've got the website details here. Anybody who's interested in getting involved, please note down the details, or we've got some cards that we can give out. People can come and talk to me after this event. One thing left really, just to thank TEDx for inviting me along today, and then I want to mention all my sponsors, so you'll have to forgive me for reading these out because I don't want to miss anybody. Bond Interiors, Platinum sponsor, thank you very much. Gold sponsors, expatwoman.com, Consolidated Construction Company, and Comic-Con Middle East, thank you to you. Silver sponsors, Wicked Tents, Flow Air Conditioning and Cooling Solutions, Impress PR Agency, Air Miles, Aramex, Wyndham Hotels and the Armada Hotels. Thank you, guys. Bronze sponsors, Clark Samadin and Dubai Investments. And to all the myriad of other people who've helped me along the way, particularly the Turkish people, thank you very much indeed. So thanks for listening to me. And the whole point of this talk to you this afternoon was to show you that if you have the will, and if you really want to do something, anybody can help to make a difference. So together we'll make a difference. Thank you. Thank you.